All right, here we go. Another trip. It's been a while since last trip, or at least filming last trip on Tesla 12.6.4, hardware 3. We are prepping for an incoming ice snowstorm, whatever you want to call it. So knocking some errands out now. It's currently raining, and that rain should turn into sleet, ice, and then we'll get some snow thereafter. So this may be the last drive I take for a while. If I'm able to safely get out and drive in some snow, I will. But if I'm not able to, you all can kind of see a bit of the workings up to this storm and see how things go for us. So coming here at this turn, we're kind of waiting a bit. We are off. Things to note on this drive is, again, it's really at this point situational on how the drivers around us handle certain scenarios. I'm not really worried with what FSD does and how it reacts or responds directly. It's more so the vehicles around us, and if they happen to dart or if they happen to slow down, speed up due to the weather, what steps we take to mitigate or get around. So right now we're approaching the on-ramp for this tollway. Speed is good. These tollways out here are kind of automatic, so no need to really slow down or do anything like that. This trip and turn should be pretty straightforward. There may be some spots I want to fast forward a bit depending on, but it's a pretty good highway trek. Pretty straightforward highway trek. But again, it's been a good amount of time since I filmed. Just introduced another baby to the family not too long ago. Work still work for, just like everyone else. That's pretty much about it. I've been getting more in depth into solar and setting that up, some DIY solar stuff. So if anyone is into that or is doing that, definitely some comments. Let me know how it's going for you. Obviously today isn't a good day for solar, but definitely into that. And really my fascination into solar and DIYing it and kind of doing your own setup per se was influenced by Tesla and this vehicle, just renewable energy and how that works and all that good stuff. So if you are curious, there's a lot of YouTube pages, of course, with people doing the DIY thing, and I explore you to check it out. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I've learned a lot. But as far as FSD is concerned, though I haven't been filming as much, I've still been utilizing it 90% of the time, at least, And what I can say with certainty is I've seen areas in which it's definitely learned and grown, even over the past couple months. And you can laugh and say, well, nothing's changed in the software. It's still that same 12.6.4, but certain areas that I approach, turns, certain things that have indicators in the road, or maybe it's some ad hoc unknown variable like construction or whatever the case may be. I can definitely say with confidence it has learned those things. Now, is it between all the times that I've reported it or maybe others in my area? Sure, it's all valid factors, but again, I think that's a great thing to see. And for a lot of folks that reach out to me and like, hey, I'm in this situation with wanting to upgrade. And it's like, I know I want a hardware 4 vehicle, but there's a great deal on a hardware 3 vehicle. What do you think? And of course, I tell you all to, try it for yourself. You're not going to get me in trouble or come back and yell at me. But at the same time, from several reports and what I've heard, and even people you can see in the comments that have both hardware 4 and hardware 3 vehicles, the gap isn't as large as maybe what others portray it to be. So I think, again, from my perspective, is you need to try it in your area. If you're in a more rural area, you may get unfriendly results in the sense of there's not enough data in your area to have consistent, solid FSD runs versus in my area, it's more populated. So I don't experience as nearly as many disengagements or things like that as others. So that's what I would say. But that being said, yeah, if you have a good deal on a hardware 3 vehicle, especially, this is what happened to me. We picked up this vehicle. It came with FSD, already pre-purchased. We got it from a dealership. Dealership didn't know at the time. They didn't care, right? So for me, at least this vehicle, we're sticking with it. We're sticking with it. I don't know, at the time they probably paid the 8 or 10,000, maybe even 12,000, because it did go up as high as 12,000 at one point. But regardless, yeah, that was our scenario. So again, if you do find a used hardware 3 with FSD paid off, I get if you still wanted to go the hardware 4 route, totally get it. But that's pretty enticing. And until to kind of segue into that, I know for us hardware 3 vehicle owners, looking forward to those software updates here this year that they were indicating some version 13 or version 14 Lite for hardware 3 vehicles. That may be the next step. Not necessarily saying level with hardware 14, but that may get a lot of the issues that some of you that currently have hardware 3, those may be mitigated or, maybe much improved in those updates that are supposed to come this year. So I would say that's a factor, right? And then I think another factor, which is the largest factor, is the talk from Elon himself indicating hardware AI 5 chips, definitely in progress, coming in soon, followed by 6, 7, 8, 9. And, what does that model look like for Tesla vehicles and that whole process, so hardware 4 vehicle owners would eventually be finding themselves in a similar situation as us hardware 3 vehicle owners. So, It's definitely a individual decision, but certainly up to you. Okay, so we're at a pretty good cruising speed. I'm still at 40% offset.